The way you see yourself determines how the world sees you. You are the product of your thoughts, and your mind is the architect of your destiny. If you believe you are insignificant, the world will treat you as such. If you believe you are powerful, the world will have no choice but to acknowledge your presence. The foundation of greatness is not found in external validation, but in the unshakable belief that you were created to stand out. When you wake up in the morning, what you think about yourself is more important than what others think of you. If you convince yourself that you are the best, your actions will naturally align with that belief. Confidence is not arrogance. It is the manifestation of a mind that refuses to entertain inferiority. History has proven time and again that those who change the world are not necessarily the most talented, the most educated, or the most privileged. They are simply the ones who dared to believe that they were destined for something greater. When a person carries themselves with conviction, people listen, doors open, and opportunities gravitate toward them. The world does not reward doubt. It rewards certainty. You don't need permission to be great. No one will hand you a certificate of confidence. It must be cultivated from within. If you act as if you are the best, you begin to develop the habits, mindset, and discipline that elevate you above the rest. You don't wait to feel great, you act great first. Confidence is not something you stumble upon, it is a conscious decision you make daily. There is no such thing as waiting until you are ready, because readiness is a product of action, not hesitation. The most successful people are not always the smartest or the strongest, but they are the ones who refuse to doubt themselves. They walk into every room as if they belong, speak as if their words carry weight, and move as if they have already won. This is not about pretending, it is about stepping into the reality of who you are meant to be. Doubt is a thief that steals opportunities before you even attempt to seize them. It is the silent enemy that convinces you to shrink when you should be standing tall, but when you decide to act as if you are the best, you silence that voice. You train your mind to embrace challenges instead of retreating from them. You approach every task, every conversation, and every obstacle with the mindset that you are already victorious. The moment you choose to believe in your own greatness, everything changes. The way you walk, the way you talk, the way you command attention. These things begin to shift because you have made a decision. Confidence is not given, it is taken. Those who wait to feel ready will always be waiting. Those who decide they are ready create their own success. Your thoughts dictate your actions. Think like the best, and you will act like the best. The mind is the control center of your entire being, shaping the way you move, speak, and respond to life. Every action you take is first conceived in the mind. A person who sees themselves as weak will move hesitantly, but one who believes they are strong will walk with purpose. The mind leads and the body simply follows. When you program your mind with the right thoughts, your actions will align naturally. Consider the difference between someone who expects to win and someone who expects to fail. The one who expects to win stands tall, looks people in the eye, and speaks with conviction. Their posture reflects their inner confidence. On the other hand, the one who expects to fail hesitates, speaks softly, avoids eye contact, and shrinks into the background. They do not realize that their body is simply following the instructions of their mind. The world responds to what you project, and you project what you believe. You cannot afford to let your body move before your mind decides the direction. Athletes do not train their bodies first. They train their minds to see victory before it happens. Leaders do not wait for circumstances to align. They shape circumstances with their belief in what is possible. The greatest achievements in history did not happen by accident. They were first born in the minds of those who refuse to see limitations. If you think like the best, act like the best, and carry yourself like the best, the world will have no choice but to treat you as such. Both faith and fear require belief in something unseen. The choice is yours. Fear is not the absence of faith. It is faith in the wrong outcome. It is the belief that something negative will happen even when there is no evidence to support it. Fear is a misuse of imagination, a projection of failure before the event even occurs. The same mental energy used to doubt yourself can be redirected to believe in your success. Every person experiences fear at some point, but those who succeed have trained themselves to choose faith instead. When faced with an uncertain situation, they do not ask, "What if I fail?" They ask, "What if I succeed?" This shift in perspective changes everything. Fear makes you hesitate, but faith makes you act. Fear keeps you small, but faith forces you to rise. The mind does not know the difference between faith and fear. It only follows the dominant thought. If you feed your mind with doubt, you will hesitate and miss opportunities. But if you fill your mind with belief, you will move with authority and attract success. Greatness is not achieved by those who avoid fear, but by those who confront it with faith. The most powerful people in the world are not fearless. They simply refuse to let fear make decisions for them. They have chosen to believe that what is ahead is greater than what they fear. Success is not a one-time event, but a series of repeated actions. Greatness is not something that happens in a single moment. It is the result of consistent habits practiced over time. Many people believe that successful individuals were simply in the right place at the right time, but the truth is that their preparation met opportunity. They became great long before anyone noticed because they were disciplined in their habits. If you study the lives of the most accomplished people, you will see a common pattern. They committed to daily routines that sharpened their skills, expanded their knowledge, and strengthened their mindset. Habits shape identity. A person who wakes up early, plans their day, and works with focus will naturally outperform someone who drifts through life without structure. Every habit you develop is either pushing you toward greatness or pulling you away from it. The way you speak, the way you carry yourself, the way you handle challenges, all of these are reflections of habits that have been formed over time. If you want to be the best, you must train yourself to think, act, and operate at a higher level every single day. Many people want success, but they are unwilling to commit to the habits that create it. They admire discipline in others, but fail to develop it within themselves. The difference between those who succeed and those who remain average is not talent, but consistency. A person who is consistently improving, learning, and pushing themselves will always rise above those who only work hard occasionally. The best in any field are not the ones who practice when they feel like it. They are the ones who practice whether they feel like it or not. When you value yourself, others will follow. The way you treat yourself sets the standard for how others will treat you. If you do not respect yourself, you cannot expect others to respect you. Respect is not something you demand from people. It is something you command through your actions, your mindset, and your presence. The world responds to confidence, and confidence comes from knowing your worth. A person who respects themselves does not tolerate mediocrity in their life. They do not allow negativity, laziness, or self-doubt to dictate their actions. They walk with purpose, speak with certainty, and present themselves with dignity. When you value yourself, you do not wait for validation from others because you already know your worth. This inner assurance creates an energy that people can sense. They listen to you differently, speak to you differently, and treat you with the respect that you have already given to yourself. Those who lack self-respect are easily influenced by the opinions of others. They seek approval, change themselves to fit in, and hesitate to stand out. But those who truly respect themselves are not concerned with fitting in. They are focused on rising above. They understand that their value is not determined by external opinions, but by the standards they set for themselves. The moment you recognize your own worth, the world will have no choice but to acknowledge it as well. You don't become the best, you uncover the best version of yourself. Greatness is not something you acquire from the outside. It is something that is already within you, waiting to be revealed. Too many people spend their lives searching for something external to make them feel significant, not realizing that everything they need is already inside them. The difference between those who rise to greatness and those who remain average is that the great ones recognize their own potential and take action to bring it out. Every person is born with unique gifts, talents, and abilities, but these qualities remain dormant until they are developed. A seed already contains the potential to become a tree, but it must be planted, watered, and given the right environment to grow. In the same way, your potential is waiting for you to activate it. The problem is that most people never take the time to cultivate what is inside them. They allow distractions, doubts, and fears to keep them from becoming who they were meant to be. Instead of digging deep and developing their strengths, they settle for what is easy and familiar. To uncover your best self, you must be willing to push beyond your current limits. Growth does not happen in comfort. It happens when you challenge yourself, take risks, and step into situations that force you to improve. The best version of you is not found in avoiding difficulties, but in facing them head on. Every challenge is an opportunity to discover how strong, capable, and intelligent you really are. The moment you stop seeing obstacles as barriers and start seeing them as stepping stones, you begin unlocking your true potential. Every setback is an opportunity to prove that nothing can stop you. Challenges are not meant to break you, they are meant to build you. Life will test you in ways you never expected, but those tests are designed to prepare you for something greater. Every successful person has faced failure, rejection, and hardship, but what separates them from the rest is how they responded. They did not let difficulties define them. They use them to become strong. People who allow challenges to defeat them never rise beyond where they are. They see obstacles as excuses to quit rather than as reasons to push forward. But those who refuse to be stopped develop a mindset that turns every difficulty into an advantage. Instead of saying, "Why is this happening to me?" they ask, "What is this teaching me?" This shift in perspective is what makes all the difference. When you encounter resistance, it is a sign that you are on the right path. No one who has ever achieved greatness did so without overcoming struggles. The weightlifter becomes stronger by lifting heavier weights. The runner becomes faster by pushing through fatigue. Growth comes through resistance, and success comes through perseverance. The sooner you embrace this truth, the sooner you will rise above every limitation that tries to hold you back. Your words shape your world. Talk with authority and vision. The way you speak reveals the way you think. If you constantly express doubt, hesitation, and uncertainty, it is a reflection of how you see yourself. But when you speak with confidence, clarity, and conviction, the world listens. The most influential people do not have the loudest voices. They have the strongest belief in their words. They do not waste time on meaningless speech. Every word they say carries weight because it is backed by certainty. Speaking like you own the room is not about arrogance, it is about presence. When you enter a space, people should feel the energy of someone who knows where they are going. Your words should reflect the vision you carry. Small minds speak about problems, but great minds speak about possibilities. If you want to be the best, your language must reflect leadership, authority, and purpose. Every sentence you speak should align with where you are headed, not where you have been. The greatest speakers in history were not just skilled with words, they spoke with a sense of mission. They did not use weak or uncertain phrases. They declared their vision with power, and because they believed it, others believed it too. When you speak, do so with certainty. Do not apologize for your greatness. Do not water down your message to make others comfortable. Speak as if you expect success, as if your words carry the power to create reality, because they do. The best do not ask for permission, they inspire others to follow. Influence is not about seeking approval, it is about setting a standard so high that others cannot ignore it. Those who change the world do not wait to be accepted. They create their own space to find their own value and set their own expectations. The greatest leaders in history were not always welcomed at first, but they did not shrink to fit in. They stood firm in their purpose until the world adjusted to their presence. When you know who you are, you do not need validation. Many people spend their lives trying to gain the approval of others, afraid of standing out. But the best understand that their role is not to blend in, it is to lead. Leadership is not given, it is taken. People follow those who are certain of themselves, not those who seek to be liked. If you walk in confidence, carry yourself with excellence, and demand the best from yourself, influence will follow naturally. The world does not recognize people who wait for permission. It recognizes those who act with conviction. The difference between those who lead and those who follow is the willingness to step forward without waiting for affirmation. The best create their own opportunities, shape their own paths, and set their own rules. They do not ask, "Will they accept me?" Instead, they say, "This is who I am," and let their actions speak for themselves. Greatness is not reserved for a select few. It is available to anyone bold enough to claim it. The world does not decide who rises to the top, you do. The moment you choose to act as if you are the best, you step into a reality where nothing is impossible. Every person who has ever achieved something remarkable first had to believe in themselves before anyone else did. They did not wait for the world's approval. They moved forward with unshakable confidence, knowing that their actions would speak louder than words. The most powerful force you have is your mindset. If you think small, you will live small. If you think like the best, you will start behaving like the best. Your thoughts shape your reality, your words shape your presence, and your actions determine your future. The key is not to wait until you feel ready, but to move forward as if you already are. When you decide to carry yourself like the best, your habits change, your attitude changes, and the way people respond to you changes. You were not created to live in hesitation, self-doubt, or fear. You are meant to stand tall, walk with authority, and make an impact. Every person has the potential for greatness, but only those who choose to embrace it will see it manifest in their lives. The difference between those who succeed and those who do not is not luck or talent. It is the mindset that says, I am here to win. The world follows those who walk with certainty. When you believe you are the best, you carry yourself differently. You do not ask, can I do this? You declare, this is mine to take. The challenges you face are not obstacles meant to stop you. They are tests to prove your strength. When difficulties arise, they are not a sign to quit, but an opportunity to demonstrate that nothing can shake you. The best do not retreat in the face of struggle. They rise. They see every setback as a setup for a greater victory. You cannot allow fear, doubt, or temporary failure to define you. You must move forward with the understanding that success belongs to those who refuse to settle for anything less than the best. The world does not reward hesitation. It rewards action. It does not wait for those who are unsure. It follows those who are certain. You must choose to be the person who sets the standard, who speaks with authority, who moves with purpose. When you enter a room, enter with the confidence that you belong there. When you take on a challenge, do so with the belief that you are already victorious. When you pursue your dreams, chase them with relentless determination, knowing that you are capable of achieving them. There is no one better than you, not because you are in competition with others, but because your only competition is who you were yesterday. The best do not compare themselves to others. They focus on becoming the best version of themselves. And when you do that, the world has no choice but to recognize your greatness.